Yeah, I think I'm back. Yeah, OBS crashed and YouTube closed the stream on me. I must have had auto close turned on. I normally do not, but I must have. Oh well. Oh well. Life. That is life, isn't it? How are we going with this one? 3 more passengers. This train's 3 more stations to go. We'll do that. That's why I didn't want to stop. I didn't throttle back. Yeah, what I do on the railway, I have a lot of different jobs. When I started there, I started in the shops. So I've worked in the shops. I have worked as, they call them passenger guides these days, but they used to be called conductors. I have worked in the stations. I do track inspections. I still do a track inspection once a month. I drive one little track machines from one end of the line to the other, checking for faults and defects and hazards and all sorts of fun stuff. And I'm qualified as a guard and signaller, but I really haven't done that for years. And I am a qualified second person on the diesels, have been for a very long time. And essentially on that one, you are the driver's eyes when you're going around left-hand corners, and about every 37 seconds or so, you look at your driver, you make sure they're awake, and you press the button. Yeah, it does have a website. Let me grab it. And lately I've been training to be a fireman. And I did start training as a fireman quite a long time ago, maybe 2008 maybe. And at that time, I gave up on it for a lot of reasons. The main one was I wasn't very good at it. There were some other issues happening around the railway at that time that didn't happen to me, but I saw them happen to others, so I pulled back a bit. Oh, I do actually drive the trains. The firemen do drive from time to time. Becoming qualified as a driver is actually quite a serious business, because it is essentially the same qualification that you have on the main line. And I'd been pushing for rather a long time for a path from diesel fireman to diesel driver because they didn't have one. And they kept saying, yeah, we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that. Never really got round to it. So I've started steam firing, because by the time I become proficient at steam firing and qualify on all the locos, that then does open the path to driver qualifications as well. And I'm young enough now to manage the rigours of steam firing, but it is hard work. You feel it when you come home, that's for sure. Well, Preserve Railway is just a railway. We operate to the same rules and legal requirements as any other railway. And we train to the same standards as every other railway too, so it is a proper qualification what you end up with. Welcome to Staley Bridge. There's politics in everything you do in life. I try and stay out of it, to be honest. Not interested. I'm there because I want to play with trains. Even the phrase play with trains would get me told off, to be honest. And I just accidentally reopened my doors. Can you drive with the doors open? There's an interesting question. Yes, you can. Aww. Alright, it's time to go to a 47 anyway. Because, you know, that's enough of the pacer. What was I going to do with the 47? To M63, which is that one, I think. Actually, the one I was going to do with the 47... Which one was it? 6005. That one. That one? That one. There we go. Start. Shoveling a coal's not that bad, to be honest with you. It's the locomotive prep and cleaning that's a big deal, because you have to climb all over the things. We have a red light. And do we have some brakes on? We do have some brakes on. That's good. There's a muster key here somewhere. There it is. Forwards. Cab light. Foot warmer. Oh, we need a foot warmer, surely. How luxurious. Demister? No. Don't really need train heat, because it's a freight train. There's more switches somewhere. How do I turn on my headlights? Must be a switch for headlights somewhere. Oh, there it is. That's the headlight. Good-o. And we have two 47s, one in British Rail and one in something reminiscent of GBRF, and a set of tank trains that goes around the corner, but it's not many. It's not a lot of tank carriages. Oh, now it's raining. Fantastic. Just waiting for our signal to clear because it is red. Alright. Brakes off. Oops. And these ones are the right way round. The pacer brakes are backwards. And away we go in the Thrash Monster. And there's our pacer coming in on the other side. Hello, Aiden's train in the unstoppable world. Will there be an SD70 MAC or ET44 AC on TSW3? I don't know. Who knows? And Brad enjoys driving the 47. Looks like some of my people have found me again. Yay. Welcome back. Do enjoy driving the 47, the workhorses of British Rail in their day, sadly unappreciated by train spotters at the time, nicknamed Duffs. Oh, that's a bit annoying. I had OBS crash, Brad, and I must have had automatic kill of the stream turned on, because when the stream data went away, YouTube went, you obviously don't need me, I'll end your stream. smoke like a steam engine. And as usual in TSC, it doesn't look like the second one's actually doing anything. There's wheels going around. Oh yeah, they are. I find it hard to tell in TSC sometimes, whether the wheels are moving or not. So welcome back, folks who are finding the stream again. It's not that much point accelerating right now. Got a 30 zone coming up. I hope that's not my red signal. We'll know in a minute. No, all good. Just rolling into our 30 zone. And there's wonderful English weather. Beautiful summer's day. Yeah, I guess you can see why this curve's 30, huh? It's a tight one. Don't you wish TSW things animated like that? That's what we need more of. Pretty sure an 808's a drum, but anyway. Time to power back up. About half the people that were watching the other stream seem to have found this one again. Now at full throttle. Yeah, you do, don't you, Richard? There are times when there are elements of the graphics in TSC that I actually think are better. I think trees are still better in TSC. I don't like the way Unreal draws in the shadows as you approach, and I could do without the shadows, to be honest. I'd rather not have them than have them draw in the way they do. Uh-oh, I'm being naughty, clearly. I just got told off by a game. There we go, game. Up until recently, I would have said that water was better in TSC too, but there's been some really significant improvements in water. Dovetail's latest routes, the water's been really good with reeds and pond scum and a nice reflective surface. It's been quite good. And Rivet's work on the seaside's been really good. So water's coming along. Water's still not as reflective in TSW as it is in TSC, but they're getting there. You know, it's supposed to be raining here today. It's bright and sunny. That's all right. Another green on the banner, followed by a green signal. Cruise along through the countryside. One thing that does amaze me in seeing it in the simulators, whether it's realistic or not, I can't tell you, but perhaps Brad or Richard, you may know, is it prototypical that you very quickly leave the built-up areas and end up in what is essentially the countryside? Yeah, it's interesting, Richard. It's kind of nice, I have to say. Yeah, I can get into the countryside in a similar amount of time, but if I was heading from where I live towards the city, it just stays built up the whole way. We're pretty good with open space, but it's more of a sprawl here. But I think that's because everybody's become used to getting their own quarter acre or more recently third acre of land to stick their house on. That's probably why we sprawl so much. Whereas in Europe, housing that touches each other is more the normal. .158 heading the other way. Oh, it's interesting, Richard, the green belts. Yeah, we have a similar concept, but they're usually quite a long way out of the cities. But they get moved too. Climbing up the 125, I should say. Ah, damn trees. Brad says Canberra has green belts and wedges all over the place. It's recently built and properly planned city, though. It does have its master plan. Most cities do, but they let property developers do whatever they want, essentially. Green on the banner. Being naughty again. It's amazing how little gravity is affecting this train, to be honest. It's almost like we're going downhill. I think that's a very kind word for it, Richard. It really feels like we're going downhill, but the HUD says we're going uphill. Oh well. Yeah, I kind of think these ones might be a little bit too powerful. They may well be empties. Because, you know, it's not trying very hard. Mind you, your average European freight trains aren't all that big either. Even if they wanted to do it, the couplers can't. Oh, imagine living right next to that curve. Wouldn't that be delightful? Your average Australian freight train's probably somewhere in the middle between the European sizes and the American sizes. The only ones that we run are really, really long are the iron ore trains. They're the only ones that extend beyond a kilometre in length. Maybe 2. I have seen freights about 1.5, so maybe 2 kilometres in length. Cruising through the countryside. Yeah, there's another train of tankers going the other way. Now that we're in the tunnel. Yeah, it is interesting that people do use hook and link. I suppose it's the braking systems are also different though, because the braking system's not just controlled by air on European trains. So the brakes can be electrically controlled on a lot of them. Either with through wiring or by radio. So that they apply and release on all the carriages at the same time, which means the only time you've got really big forces on the couplings is when you're pulling with the locomotive. It's a very exciting stream when you're going through a really long tunnel. But the end's down there somewhere. So the other scary thing about hook and link type couplers with buffers is joining them up. It's a little more hazardous than the knuckles. Although I have seen people do plenty dumb things with knuckle couplers. Standing in stupid places, for example. But you watch the videos of people who just stand between the buffers.
I'm back.
Hello, Michael. You see videos of people who stand between the buffers on link and pin. And the buffers crash around them and you think you wouldn't want to misjudge that. We're on a different stream now, Michael. Because the other one broke. There's a link in the chat of the old one. Come on, tunnel. Let us out.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's a good use for a tunnel. Beer time. Just checking where we are on the route on this one. Yeah, so we've head down the other end of it. So we've done the middle, we've done the top end, and now we're doing the bottom end. With our squealy wheeled train. I'm in trouble again. Clearly. That's what happens when you accelerate downhill. It goes faster. At least I don't have to worry too much about brake pipe charge up time with such a short train. "22 miles to Leeds." Are we going full length? Must be. Wonder if we'll make it, or will another AI train ruin our fun? Back down gradient through Slaithwaite again. I think we were going in the other direction last time, weren't we? Because we were going up gradient when we were in the Pacer. I just realised my head covers up a whole lot of the HUD. Does anybody care? I always think it's funny in TSC how it gets darker in notches. Getting very dark. Fortunately, soon it starts going uphill again. And then we won't be just rolling. It was interesting how the poll went on lightning in TSW. I didn't think it would quite go that way. But we ended up with something in the vicinity of 60% preferring distant liking and 40% preferring up close. I thought it would actually go the other way, but it's interesting. That was very quiet, Michael. I didn't actually pick it up. I knew you said something, but didn't know what. And I have to say, you got to like a self-lapping brake. It's so much easier than traditional Westinghouse.
I was saying I prefer the up close light.
Ah. Very cool. Michael likes the up close. Me take tankers through a corner 10 mile over the speed limit. No. Still over the speed limit. No. It's getting super wet now. Can I make these wipers go faster? Where's the wiper control? Must be that. No, that's off. Okay, let's go the other way. That's also off. Alright. Hello, Poorhouse. I am okay. How about yourself? We're just driving a 47 class on the Huddersfield line. And we can do a police car. Alright, so that was silly. I think it was a 37 in that ad, wasn't it? From memory. Fast approaching Dayton. I do wish its windscreen wipers were a little bit faster. Once again going downhill but slowing down. We're almost at the bottom now. We start climbing again up the other side. Yeah, I guess it's Saturday night for Richard and Poorhouse, isn't it? Whereas for me it's Sunday morning. And after this I have to go and work on a task for my other half. Because I promised I'd get it finished this weekend. And if I finish that and the rain stays away, I might paint our front door too. Because it needs it. More tunnelling as we approach Murfield. It's almost finished. All I need to do is finish the wings and mount them on. And then spray paint the whole thing. Basically making a weeping angel for Halloween. I did make one set of wings, but I ended up not liking them, so I made another set. And the basic shape's cut out, and I like the new shape. It's better. It's amazing how many people just stand out in the rain on their little station platforms. cruising through the countryside that we can see less and less of. Now, next week should be Tram Sim. Let's see what the other ones were. Yeah, it's next week's Tram Sim, and then the week after that we've got the OEBB 4764 CityJet. I will probably squeeze the Flying Scotsman in there at some point too. Yes, I hope, Michael. Put on the cab light so it looks better. Looks nicer that way from the outside. You think about the magnitude of the work to make a raised train line of this length. It's just staggering, especially when it was most likely constructed before the age of really heavy construction equipment. Just gangs of people. Tram Sim's an interesting question, Richard. I got it when it was on special for about $15 or $20 or something on Steam, so at that price, yeah, I'd say yes. There are some things that I find a little bit tedious about it. Its control methods for the doors are just weird. I find you just keep pressing the buttons, eventually it works. But as far as the mechanics of the tram goes, no, it's very tram-like. I have actually driven real trams. So I think it stops, starts, feels like a tram, sounds like a tram. It's nice to do something with some street running and, of course, the added challenges of cars and traffic lights. And of course you have to act like a real tram car, and if the light's just gone red, just go straight through it. As you do. And hope there isn't another tram coming the other way. The other thing that's a bit challenging about Tram Sim is the two different routes, the German one and the Austrian one, are actually separate games. So it's not a DLC for the game, it's a completely separate game. That's a bit annoying. And you don't even get a complete route when you buy it. If you want the depot, for example, that's another DLC. So I think if you find it on special, it's certainly alright to play. I've got a couple of first look videos up for it if you want to hunt those out. And we can probably see what it looks like next week, because I'll most likely do Flying Scotsman as a midweek stream, so it's actually near the 100th birthday as soon as they release the pack. I have seen a bit of discussion about that pack, some guy claiming that they're using his train, but if you're making a prototypical livery, then yeah, they're going to look pretty much the same. But I shall let other people decide the merits of the claim. Couldn't be bothered, really. Another big long tunnel. Where are we at on our map? Yeah, we're nearly there. Not all that far to go to Leeds at all. That's good. I suppose I could have looked at the HUD and seen that, which you guys can't because my head's on top of it.
So many.
5.7 miles to run. Slow down a touch for Morley. Don't know if gravity's going to do it. Don't think so. Yeah, hopefully that were helpful. In TSC, there's the Sacramento Northern route, which has trams and interurbans. Unless you're an American, in which case it has streetcars, trolleys, and interurbans. Because, you know, trams are something that hang from a wire when you're an American. Now approaching Cottingley in the dark. So they announced the coming soon, so I kind of guessed since it didn't come out in time for the weekend, that the pack will come out on Tuesday, maybe. UK Tuesday, that is. Wednesday for me. So if that actually happens, I'll probably do a evening stream for me. Sounds like it's a relatively good one, and it comes with 10 scenarios. That's quite a few scenarios for a loco price. Assuming it is a loco price. We'll see. I couldn't imagine it'd be anything else, though. Can't see much in there, can we? I might just stay outside. Stay over this side so I can see signals. Let's see if we can actually make it into Leeds this time. There are 2 trams that come with the tram sim pack, Richard. It's one older one and one modern one. The other older one that you can buy as a DLC is a variant of the older one you get in the pack, so I don't know if I'd worry about it. Coming into Leeds on a different path from before. Where are we map-wise? No, it's the usual path. Mad for it with a banana. Fair enough. I thought it said wait for it, so I thought I'd go over and have a look to see what they were talking about. Nearly there. It's interesting where you can put stopping points wherever you want in TSC, but they still put us into a passenger platform with a goods train. That's life. Coming in on Leeds Line V. Here's our little pacing friend. Sounds like I have a visitor. Hopefully the family go and have a look. Oops. Too much acceleration. I thought for a moment we were coming in on the same track as that pacer. It's like, That's gonna hurt. Is Huddersfield worth picking up, Paul House? Is that your question, or is Tramsim worth picking up? I don't mind Huddersfield. I've had fun playing it so far. It doesn't have a lot of scenarios, but of course it's TSC, so you can make as many as you want. The trains are certainly okay. They seem to work nicely enough. Oops. You know, I'm never going to press that button again. I meant to press the V key to turn off the windscreen wipers. I ended up pressing C, which did a cab shutdown, which put the brakes on. Excellent. Well done. That's because I'm clever like that. Yeah, so I think Huddersfield would be a decent purchase. It's a nice long run. There's a bit of variety to the train stock that comes with it. When we pull out of here, we'll have a quick look and I'll show you what scenarios come with it. Nice gentle stop to avoid sloshing. And that'd be it for this run. And of course it doesn't pop out and say, let's see how you did. Excellent work, driver. Gotten the fuel into Leeds in a reasonable time. Jed, I reckon now the way fuel prices are, probably be people on the side of the road trying to pinch it. Get yourself to the staff room where you can pick up a brew. Sounds like a plan to me. Alright, so let's have a look at what comes with Huddersfield. Ignore that first one, that's just me messing around. So you get 2 pacer scenarios. You get 3 158 scenarios. We played that last one today, and we played the first pacer one. There's a couple of 47 scenarios, and there's the 3 railfan scenarios. You don't really play these, you just go and have a look. Now, interestingly, we won't go very far with this, but you know, sometimes you just have to. Now, we'll just ignore that fault. And where is my 03? Yep, yeah, I know. You think you're a railfan scenario, but you're actually not. Somewhere over here, there's an 03 for me to steal. Oh, actually, no, this is the wrong scenario. Damn, I deleted the other one. But anyway, you do get these little locos. Oops, the 03s. Let's pop inside. And if Mitch was around, he'd recognise this because it looks remarkably like a loco we've got called D21. Very, very similar. It's quite drivable. You also get the 08, and they're both drivable, you just don't get any scenarios for them. The 08 I think actually looks quite nice. It's not quite as nice as the TSW 08, but it's pretty decent. It's cab... I suspect it draws better when you're driving it, but yeah, it's not a great cab in there. But it is drivable. So, that'll be about the end of this stream, I think. So let's go up here and we can watch this one leave. Oh, we can go inside. We didn't go inside the coaches before, did we? So this is a guard's van with your spare coupler. And people wagons. Let's go up a bit higher so we don't end up in the middle of someone's body. Hello, peoples. Oh, I think we're leaving. Bye-bye, peoples. So that's the Mark II coaches. There's another 158 over there. We've seen that. We've looked at the paces, so that's about everything. It does look a lot like a VRF class. They actually are the same, Brad. They were made by the same workshops and sent over here, so yeah, they basically are. The only real difference between an F in later service with ours is they put shunters boards across the motion from ladder to ladder, so you couldn't get jammed up in the motion if you were standing on it. There goes the 158 leaving over there. Anyway, that'll about do it for today, I think. So have a lovely day, afternoon, evening, whatever it is where you're watching. And thanks heaps for joining in. Thanks heaps for the chat, folks. It was really cool. So have fun. See you later. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.